Benicia, California. December 20th, 1968. A quiet stretch of road. Just two teenagers, alone in a parked car. Betty Lou Jensen, 16. David Faraday, 17. They thought they were alone, but someone was watching. At around 11:15 p.m., the peace shattered. 5 shots fired. No warning, no mercy. Betty Lou was found face down, just feet from the car. David died beside the passenger door. No fingerprints, no witnesses, no clear motive. The killer left nothing behind, except silence. But this was no ordinary murder. It was the beginning of something much darker. The beginning of a game of fear, a game of codes, a game of death. And the man behind it called himself the Zodiac. Imagine a killer, not just cold and calculating, but one who actively taunts the authorities, daring them to catch him. A killer who sends cryptic ciphers and letters, delighting in the chaos he stirs. A killer who has never been caught, and may still be out there. This is the story of the Zodiac Killer, one of the most notorious and terrifying serial killers in American history. For years, this phantom-like figure eluded the police, leaving behind a trail of terror, twisted messages, and unsolved ciphers that continue to haunt us today. But what made the Zodiac so chilling wasn't just his brutal killings. It was the psychological games he played, taunting the public and the police with cryptic clues. Even now, decades later, the question remains: who was the Zodiac Killer? The Zodiac's reign of terror began in the late 1960s, in the quiet towns of Northern California. His first confirmed murders occurred on the night of December 20th, 1968, when high school students Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday were shot and killed in a remote area near Vallejo, California. The police had no leads, no motive, and no clues. Just 6 months later, on July 4th, 1969, the Zodiac struck again, this time targeting Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau, who were parked in a secluded area. The killer approached their car, shot them both, and then left them for dead. But this time he made a mistake. He left behind a crucial piece of evidence, a calling card. Minutes after the attack, the Zodiac called the police and identified himself as the killer. He taunted the officers, saying he had committed the murders and had fun killing people. This was the first glimpse into the killer's twisted need for attention. The Zodiac's thirst for attention didn't stop there. Over the next year, he would send a series of letters to the press, each more cryptic and bizarre than the last. These letters, often containing ciphers, were his way of mocking the police and challenging them to catch him. The most famous of these ciphers was the 340-character cipher, a complex puzzle that was said to reveal the Zodiac's identity. But the cipher wasn't just a code. It was a challenge, a direct taunt aimed at the police. The Zodiac wanted the public to know that he was in control. To this day, many of the Zodiac's ciphers remain unsolved, leaving cryptic messages that seem to be a deliberate riddle, as if he was reveling in the mystery of his own identity. In 1969, one of his letters even included a cryptic drawing, with the Zodiac promising to collect slaves for his afterlife. It was clear, the Zodiac wanted to play the game. The identity of the Zodiac Killer has been the subject of countless theories and investigations. Over the years, the police and public alike have proposed various suspects, but no one has ever been definitively linked to the murders. One of the most notorious suspects was Arthur Lee Allen, a convicted child molester who was never charged in connection with the Zodiac crimes, but was believed by some to be the killer. However, no concrete evidence ever linked Allen to the murders, and he died in 1992, taking his secrets with him. Other theories have involved military personnel, CIA connections, and even the idea that the Zodiac was someone involved in government programs. Some theorists believe he may have been a former soldier, using his training to carry out the killings. There's also speculation about ties to MK Ultra, the CIA's infamous mind control program, suggesting that the Zodiac could have been a product of secret government experiments. However, no one has ever been able to prove the identity of the Zodiac. The case remains an unsolved mystery, leaving behind a haunting trail of letters, ciphers, and unexplained disappearances. The Zodiac's final confirmed murder took place on September 27, 1969, when he attacked Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Ann Shepard near Lake Berryessa in Napa County. The Zodiac approached them in a bizarre hooded costume, drew his symbol on Hartnell's car door, and then stabbed both victims. But what made this attack especially chilling was the symbol, a cross within a circle, the Zodiac's signature mark. Despite the brutality of his crimes, the Zodiac seemed to disappear after this killing. He continued to send letters to the press, but no new murders were attributed to him. Did he stop killing, or was he simply never caught? Some believe the Zodiac may have gone into hiding, while others think that he stopped killing after his desire for fame was fulfilled. There are even theories that the Zodiac could have died or been institutionalized. But without definitive evidence, his disappearance remains as mysterious as his identity. The Zodiac killer's legacy continues to haunt us today. His crimes were never fully solved, and his chilling taunts to the public have left a mark on the collective psyche of America. The ciphers and letters he left behind continue to be studied by cryptographers, and new theories about his identity continue to surface. But the most disturbing aspect of the Zodiac's story is the fact that his true identity remains unknown. After all these years, the case still leaves us with one terrifying question. Who was the Zodiac killer, and why did he choose to torment the public for so long? Some believe that the Zodiac killer may still be out there, watching from the shadows, while others think that the case is now lost to time. But one thing is certain, the mystery of the Zodiac continues to captivate and terrify us, even half a century later. The Zodiac killer remains one of the most notorious and chilling figures in American criminal history. Despite decades of investigation, his identity continues to elude authorities. Whether he was a serial killer, a psychopath, or someone with a much deeper connection to government projects, his story remains as puzzling as it is terrifying. Was the Zodiac simply a maniacal killer? Or is there more to his story that has yet to be uncovered?